And yet, the official inquiry found his force used exaggerated and untrue intelligence to justify that ban.
And that's a red herring. I mean, this is trial by media, social media, call it what you want.
Really, is it? Because
that's
he had to apologise twice for misleading MPs.
Let me tell you about...
In this video, we are going to watch a masterclass in gaslighting. We all know standards in British policing have collapsed, but I didn't think they'd stoop this low. A police chief has been caught using, and I'm not joking, AI hallucinations to invent fake intelligence about football matches that never happened to justify banning fans. But it gets worse. Watch how this MP tries to tell Sky News that lying to Parliament is just a red herring and that we should all just move on. The arrogance is off the charts. If you want to see more videos exposing the clown show, hit the like and subscribe button and don't forget to ring the notification bell. Now let's watch this car crash interview together and I'll see you at the end.
Well, I think it's truly a dark and shameful chapter for Birmingham, for West Midlands, and for the whole country, to be frank. We have just witnessed one of the greatest injustices in modern times. A chief constable who's been thrown under the bus for doing the right thing. We all know that the Cook report has identified 4 very significant points which have been brushed under the carpet. Number 1, his decision was impartial. Number 2, there was no political interference in his decision. Number 3, there was no anti-Semitism. And most significantly, there was no malign intent, so no dishonesty. A chief constable has given his decision on banning of what we all know, and it's undisputed, fans and ultra base that were targeting specifically Muslims the day before the match in Amsterdam. He protected Brummies, he protected the local communities, and he has been thrown under the bus for doing his job.
And yet, the official inquiry found his force used exaggerated and untrue intelligence to justify that ban.
And that's a red herring. I mean, this is trial by media, social media, call it what you want.
Really, is it? Because he had to apologise twice for misleading MPs.
Let me tell you about... Well, let's just deal with that, Jonathan. The West Ham game, AI hallucination, it was information that found its way into the intelligence gathering document. What did it say? It said there was a match against Maccabi here in the United Kingdom. It said West Ham had won the match 1-0. It didn't say Maccabi fans caused disorder. It didn't say there was incidents of violence. If anything, that level of intelligence would have supported the arrival of the fans. So let's not pick on the red herrings of this report. Let's pick on the most significant aspects of this report, which was that this decision was impartial, didn't have influence, there was no dishonesty, no malign intent, and yet we have thrown a chief constable who has acted without fear or favour under the bus.
Why then did he have to apologise for misleading MPs, giving them inaccurate information, not once, but twice?
Right, yeah, absolutely. Human error. People make error all the time. We know it's a big organisation. He's entitled to rely on professional officers that work beneath him. That is something which I would expect is common sense to every viewer. It was common sense that he would apply and apologise for errors of other officers. But let's look at how insignificant those errors were in the context of public protection. He made sure that the local community here was safe by preventing those fans from coming here. And as I say, this was nothing short of a witch hunt.
But to make errors like that, especially given the history of the force, to be the man at the top, making errors like that does huge damage, doesn't it, to public trust and confidence in the police?
Look, in any organisation, you will have errors. The real question here is, did he make the right decision? Can these errors be rectified? Is there a learning curve? Of course there is. Of course I accept that there were errors. But these errors combined did not warrant him losing and him having to resign or be sacked. This was, as I say, trial by media, false narratives spun right from the very top. and the writing was on the wall when the Home Office, the Home Secretary made her statement in Parliament. And, if someone's going to be held accountable, why not the UK's football policing unit? They're the experts in this arena. They peer-reviewed that decision. They made all those checks and balances. And what did they do? They supported that decision. We know that the Home Secretary herself sat with the Chief Constable. The option of banning fans was put on the table, but she didn't say, well, hold it 1 second, Chief Constable. Is there an issue in terms of resources? Can we mitigate the risks that you've identified? None of that happened. And then all of a sudden, when things go pear-shaped, and then you have media, and then social media, and then parliamentarians running false narratives.
Do you think
the writing was on the wall? Unfortunately,
Do you think? Yeah. Do you think the perception in all of this is that West Midlands Police were captured, if you like, by one particular community in the city and their sensitivities, and was too quick to listen to them without actually listening to the views of everyone?
Well, let's not take my view on that. Let's look at the impartial investigation by Sir Andy Cook. He's made it absolutely plain in his decision. There was no impartiality at all. So when we look at the key factors, i.e. we've heard rumours and allegations of political interference, that's been made absolutely plain now. There was no political interference, and there was no bowing down to communities. There was simply no anti-Semitism, no anti-Semitic impartiality. He acted impartially. What more do you want a Chief Constable to do? And I can tell you this, Jonathan, that decision today will have a chilling effect on all public sector workers, because the message out, which will be sent out today, is that if you do not conform with politicians, there is no such thing as independent operational decisions. You will lose your job, you will lose your livelihood, and we will come after you if you do not conform.
How do we move on from this?
And that's the message that's been sent.
So how do we move on from
Jonathan,
this?
Repeat that.
Yeah, I was just going to say, in conclusion, what lessons can we learn? How do we move on from this to make sure that this sort of debacle doesn't happen again?
Well, there's a learning curve, of course there is. The first thing is that we shouldn't have asked the Chief Constable to resign. The Home Secretary should not have lost confidence in him. There are errors which clearly need work needs to be done on. But this whole episode seeking the dismissal of a Chief Constable for making the right decision. I mean, when we look at the Cook report, it's clear there was a Muslim hunt. It's there in black and white now that the night before the match, the Muslims were specifically targeted. And here in Birmingham, here in Aston, what do we say to our British Muslims? What do we say to our British community, Muslim community? That you are not worthy of our support, that we would rather support hooligans coming into your town, coming into your city, targeting specifically Muslims? What do we say to them? Why is nobody talking about how they feel? The average British Muslim who wants nothing to do with violence, nothing to do with any of this saga. What do we say to them?
Did you hear that? A red herring. Since when is a police chief lying to MPs and using fake AI data to strip people of their rights a red herring? The Sky host, Jonathan, did a brilliant job here not letting him get away with it. The MP tried to play the victim card, tried to claim it was a witch hunt, but the facts are simple. They used fake intel to appease a mob, got caught, and now they are blaming AI like a bad student who didn't do their homework. This is what two-tier policing looks like. They will lie to your face and then tell you you're the problem for noticing. If you want to see more videos like this, hit the like and subscribe button, and don't forget to ring the notification bell so you don't miss a thing.